Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gator Light, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gator Light hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, 0 tears.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, episode 643 of Coach Unplugged, part 2 of the Jimmy Dolan interview, kind of building a program. But before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish. What I love is how innovative they are. They're always looking for new versions of their shooting machine. You know, they came up with a home version. They came up with one with a monitor and drills. They came up with it using the iPad or your phone. Unbelievable. So give them a call. Mention Coach Unplugged. They'll give you $350 off your next purchase. Not on the home one, but the rest of them. And those, you can use those at home. The other versions you can use at home. So go over and check that out. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. I know this is a tough time for a lot of people. It's a tough time for me. Members are leaving. I think we offer a great resource, and I understand why people have to leave, and I understand all of that. But it allows me to keep this podcast moving. It allows me to buy the equipment. It allows me to have the time. It allows me to do all of those things. So if you like the podcast, and you want them to keep coming, come over and join us at teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. All right, let's head off to the podcast.
So it's funny, a quick story. So we're getting ready to play in the Christmas tournament this year, and playing Quincy, local team. The kids are like, Coach, we didn't get a scouting report. You don't have anything up on the board. And I just said, for this week where we got to worry about us. And we really did. And sometimes you're trying to evaluate improvement, and the scoreboard doesn't always indicate that.
Right.
But what we did is in terms of our scouting, we added that as we went on this year. And what was really cool is we had 2 wins late in the year over teams that had beaten us by 25 plus the first time around. And what we did was we became just, like you said, you got to pick a few things you do, and we got better at a few things. And then we worried a little bit more about our scouting reports and about their personnel. And the combination, like you said, I don't know what the magic formula is. We found a little bit of, we got better. And right. I guess that's all you're trying to do, regardless of where you can start and finish. We want to get better from day to day. And I think, to answer your question a long way, practice planning and, game planning, scouting reports, it's all part of that.
It is. So what would someone see if they came and watched your practice? Like what would be my perception if I was just a fly on the wall? I think super high energy, really, really high energy. We have kids that are multi-sport athletes, so we try to use that in terms of, I think perfect, I think, in high school ball where you're not recruiting players, where you have who's there, you really have to have a bunch of different tools in your box, Right. But in a perfect world, if you come to my practice, it's going to be a lot of full court stuff. It's going to be a lot of, defensive pressure, getting up and down, playing with excitement, playing with passion. I think we got really good kids that work hard, and I hope that's a reflection of my staff and I, that they want to play for us. They want to play for each other. Getting the kids to buy in, which I think,
it's only been a year, but I think they really have. Again, a lot of high energy, a lot of picking each other up, a lot of excitement, and competitive. You gotta create a culture where they can compete. So
Right.
we try to put a lot of that into practice, where it's not just do this for 5 minutes. It's we like to play this. We call it one possession. You either got to get a score and a stop, or if it's 2 stops, you keep going. And it just gets them to think about how big one possession can be.
Yeah, we do. We play the game stop, score, stop, or score, stop, score. And then we keep track of those because it's the game is like little games inside of itself. I love that. So let's dive into something. I always love this question. Can you think of one coaching moment that we could dive into? Success, failure, something in your career that we could, it doesn't even have to, it could be when you were coaching baseball that the audience could learn something from? Not your typical question.
That's a good question. I like that. 2011. We're going to go back a little bit. I was the boys coach at Weymouth, and we were playing at our rival, Braintree High School, with the league title on the line. We hadn't won actually, the last league title was 1990 when I was the point guard. I had a little bit more black hair, maybe a little thinner, coach, And one of the things that in a really big moment, it's we got a big steal. Do you call the timeout? Do you let the kid go? And I think at the end of the day, I think you learn sometimes the kids are playing and it's their game.
Right.
And we're managing it.
Right.
But I can remember vividly, looking at my assistants, we get the rebound. Do I call a timeout? Do I not call a timeout? And you've prepared for that moment. But in the moment, if you've done things the right way and your kids believe in you and you believe in what they can do, you let them play. That's a great question, Coach.
It is. And you kind of learn something from that. How have you balanced everything over your long coaching career? Family, life?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think, and if you would ask anybody, it's family first, and it always has been.
You better marry right too. That's what I'm going to say. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, you're sure. I'm lucky there, Coach, for sure.
I am too.
Yeah, I mean, well, getting that support at home is really important.
Right.
And I think it is tough to balance sometimes. I can remember as a young coach, I was an assistant at Bridgewater State College, mid-90s, working for Coach Froba, great guy. I remember we lost to Suffolk on a tip-in. And I couldn't sleep for 2 days, and I had done the scout for that game. It's hard at first, I think, but the balance, you have to find it, or you won't be successful.
And advice I give coaches too is you gotta you can't get too high on those wins, you can't get too low on those losses, because I mean, early in my career, you would have thought someone ripped my arm off when I lost a game. And it's like, and they still hurt. Yeah, you got to try to stay in that middle a little bit. What's one thing that's not being taught right now?
It's funny, but if we go strictly basketball and skill set, I think, even in the girls' game I found this year, it's finishing at the rim and it's 3-pointers. That mid-range game is kind of lost its way a little bit.
It's gone. I'm watching Last Dance with Michael, and half of his shots were mid-rangers.
A lot of truth to that. Absolutely.
I think there's going to be a swing back to that mid-range game. I do. I think kids are going to start working on that. And, Michael was like shooting a layup when he took it.
Oh, yeah.
So, that if you can it's so hard to get open on the 3 now, and it's so hard to get open to go into the paint that maybe those 12-footers are what's going to be open.
Well, I think people, like you said, it's hard because people are preparing. They're defending out to the 3, and you can't be a one-trick pony, And if you can create off the dribble a little bit or come off the screen, and like you said, that 12, 15-footer can really change a game. And there's no doubt. I think at a young age, kids are jacking threes and they're doing all these fancy.
Oh my
crazy.
God, it drives me bonkers. I don't let my son to shoot a 3 until he was almost in high school. Because they're not strong enough.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. The 3-point line has its place, but I think it's done some damage to the game in my opinion.
I mean, quite honestly, if you can shoot, it's a decent tool for sure.
Right.
If you can't, it can really hurt a team.
It can really hurt.
And when you
team.
got, you talk about, again, just if you're not preparing to succeed, you're preparing to fail. And if you got the wrong kids taking the wrong shots, I mean, it's tough, but that's got to be part of the conversation sometimes,
It is. What would you tell your younger self?
So, yeah, it's a good one too. I like that.
Thanks.
I like that, Coach.
I got lots of them, but
that's good.
Thanks.
I think be who you are and be the same type of person and coach that you want to be.
I think with all the clinic stuff,
lucky.
I think with all the clinic stuff and all the stuff that's going on right now, you can't be Coach K. You're not going to be Coach Huggins.
Yeah, it's not.
You can take a piece of them and use part of them, but don't try to do. Here's what I find. Here's what I find with young coaches. And especially in the last 3 weeks with all these clinics and stuff, it's great. But then, no, I'm going to run this, and then I'm going to run. Well, okay, but have you looked at your team for next year?
Right.
Figured out what your team can do? Because I can't do everything I want to do with my team that's coming back because I'm not going to have I'm not going to have a big guy. So it's like, okay,
Absolutely.
So I got to adjust it. So I think that's the key is like, I would tell my younger self is be who you are, be who your team is going to be. Use those other things as resources, but be who you are going to be.
And I think that's like both kind of on the court and off the court,
Yeah.
Like I feel really lucky, like, growing up playing, my dad was around the game. And, again, when you get exposed to a lot of different things, if you yell just because Coach Knight yelled, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You can take an out of bounds play from somebody you like and
Right.
stuff like that. Cause we all know, Coach, basketball coaches are the best thieves.
Right. And if you're not a yeller, don't be a yeller,
Right.
And if you are a yeller, you're probably going to have to change because the game's changed. But I'm just saying it's like, yeah, or you better be in the right audience,
Well, it's funny. The first time this year with the girls that I kind of raised my voice, the gym just stopped. And I said, no, I'm not mad at anybody. I get passionate. I get excited. And, that was a funny transition watching that,
I've had that happen in my classroom. They go, stop yelling, Mr. Collins. I go, I'm not yelling. You like me to yell?
You'll know when I'm yelling, yeah.
And then someone says, yeah, and then I'll scream at them like I would mad. And they go, oh, I go, that's yeah. I was just raising my voice to make a point. I wasn't even mad. I have a loud voice. It's like, oh, okay, Mr. Collins. Is there anything about the game that you would change?
What's funny? I think watching The Last Dance last week. So I have 3 boys, and 2017 and 13 all played basketball and do play basketball. It's funny. It's kind of this similar to what we were just talking about. Who is the best? Everyone's arguing it's Michael better than LeBron, is better than Magic, is better than Bird. It's better than. There can be a selfish culture sometimes, I think, to the game. And I just wish people loved the game for what it is. It's okay if my favorite player is Larry Bird and yours is Magic Johnson. That's okay. Yeah. And we can talk about it. We can talk about it. We can even argue about it. And then we can go out and have a pizza and it's still okay.
Right. Well, first of all, you're either a Laker fan or a Celtics fan. There's no in between. Whether you can't like both of them. You either like Magic.
True.
Yeah. I was a Laker guy. You were probably a Celtic guy. It is what it was.
Probably was, right.
Yeah, probably living in Mass. Anyway, my argument why Michael would be the best. Michael never lost in a final. Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Make sure you subscribe and like. Make sure you go over and check us out on Teach Hoops. On YouTube. That's really important. You can also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you want to become a better basketball coach, everyone needs a mentor. I've had several of them. I want to be your mentor and help you become a better coach, help you with all those obstacles that kind of stand in your way. And also make sure if you really want to help us out, you can go down below and click on our Amazon link. That would bookmark that every time you shop. We get a small little commission, and it helps us with our expenses of running this podcast. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. They said six finals, 6 championships, and no game 7s.
No game 7s. Never lost.
Just
Russell's got to be in the discussion, but no one puts him in the discussion because he also did the exact same thing. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents about the best player.
I like
people lose Russell all the time. Well, what are you talking about? Like, are you kidding me? You never lost. Like, anyway. But Yeah, I think I and they do that in baseball all the time. I think that's what we're missing with sports right now.
The talk,
the talk.
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA, if the NBA is listening to this in any way, do what you're talking about. Take all the teams down to Disney World, quarantine them for this is what they want to do. Quarantine them for 14 days, bring the officials, bring the media, and then play the NBA season at Disney
You'd have the
World.
best ratings of all time.
Oh my God, people will go crazy if you do that. Like,
sure.
and they have like 30 hotels at Disney World. Just put them in a hotel, quarantine them, feed them. They want to get paid.
Yeah.
Because baseball, you really can't do that unless they go to a minor league. They're talking about moving them in Arizona.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And again, if they do that, people will eat it up. Like I'm a Cubs fan. I need my Cubs. Come on, I need my Cubs.
I might like the Red Sox. That's kind of.
I went to I was out. Gosh, my son must have been in middle school or something. My brother lives in New Hampshire, and he had tickets for the Red Sox Yankees game at Fenway, and my brother goes, he was going to take his son. He goes, oh, you should take Drew because you won't get to experience this. I go, perfect. So all the way driving down, I was explaining to Drew that like this is the real deal. Like when Boston plays New York, this is like people that like this is like war. And it was like great. People are screaming at each other in the game. It was like
it never disappoints.
Never disappoints. And Fenway is, again, from a baseball fan, Fenway and Wrigley are the only two parks left.
Yeah, that old school. Absolutely.
You got to go. If you have any history, go to Fenway and go to Wrigley.
Yeah.
Going to Miller and going watching the Brewers play is like going to the mall. I can't handle it. It's like, seriously, it's just sterile to me. But anyway, that's just, I'm old. What's one thing you've done the last 6 months to become a better coach?
Well, in the last 6 months, I think the biggest thing is preparing to take over the girls' job was the self-evaluation. We don't do that all the time because we get caught up in what we're doing.
Yep.
And, if you're lucky enough to win, you think, well, that's working.
Yeah.
And, and quite often a lot of coaches are stubborn, and when it's not working, it's somebody else's fault, or I don't know. But really sitting down and evaluating me and looking in the mirror and saying, I need to do this better. I need to, hold these kids to a certain standard, whatever it may be. But I think the easy answer, I think, is the last 6 weeks. Like you said, I'm almost overloaded with the clinics and the webinars.
Right.
But big picture, I think evaluating what I do as a coach myself with my program, I think that self-evaluation piece has really helped.
Yeah, and what I think you got to take now is you got to kind of self-reflect. I always tell coaches too, when I'm mentoring young coaches and stuff, I said, everyone thinks they did a great job when they win, and everyone thinks they did a bad job when you lose. You have to be the other way almost. Like, we won, but what didn't we do well? And we lost, well, what did we do well? I mean, I think we almost go to the extremes. We're thinking we're playing better than we are, and we think we're playing worse than we are when we're losing. It's like, I think it's somewhere in between that, and that's where that self-evaluation really comes into play. Because everyone's feeling great. You've won 10 games in a row. Your vulnerability hasn't been shown, or you lost a couple in a row. Well, you're not as bad as you think you are. You just probably got to tweak. So I think that self-evaluation is a really important thing. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions, Coach. I call this rapid fire. So it's usually 1 or 2 questions. Or 1 or 2 answers, 1 or 2 word answers real quick. So they'll be like, your favorite, it's not going to be this, but like, what's your favorite gum? And then you tell me your favorite gum. All right. What's your favorite type of basketball that you play the game with? The actual round basketball. What's your favorite?
I love the Baden Elite.
And is that what your state association uses?
I would say in the last 5 years, our state association has changed 3 or 4 times from Top Flight to Reebok to Baden, back to Top Flight this past year. Okay. I just like the way the Baden feels.
And then it's probably who gives them the most.
Absolutely.
Follow the money. I always tell my stats students, just follow the money. Usually will answer most questions in life. 1 word to describe your ideal player.
Passion.
If you could go to 1 sporting event, what would it be and why?
Duke at Cameron, because I haven't done it yet.
Survive.
And that's definitely big on the bucket list.
It is. I got a player that I coached. My son was on his AAU team. He's going there as a freshman. I hope he goes there as a freshman.
We went down one time for Coach K's clinic, and it was awesome, but we didn't get to see them play.
Right.
So that was cool, but definitely I want to see a game at Cameron.
Yep, that would be favorite pregame meal.
I usually don't eat before.
Martin's was a Mars bar.
That's yeah. I think
Mars
I've heard
bar.
of that.
First of all, I didn't know they had Mars bars in Ireland. I mean,
Yeah.
And then a Mars bar, really?
Oh, he is great. He really is.
I get good. I mean, no one's ever answered Mars bar. I mean, probably half the coaches go, I don't eat, or I have a Gatorade or something, but
Yeah.
not a Mars bar. Do you have any superstition?
This is kind of weird, but I would say that in baseball, yes, but in basketball, probably not so much.
That's interesting because baseball is kind of a superstition sport.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell people I have several, but superstitions are about rituals. They're really not about winning. One thing you do to relax.
I guess not enough, but golf is relaxing to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like to go out there and hit it,
Okay. So people are listening to this and see my jaw just drop because I find golf the most unrelaxing thing ever. It's just frustrating to me, but that's good. I like fishing is more relaxing to me, but what one coaching technique you consider important?
I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I would say just communicating, whether it's what sets you want to run, what out of bounds play you're doing, or just what time practice is tomorrow. I would say communication's the biggest one.
Oh, I like that. Best basketball player you've seen in person?
Well, I've been lucky enough. I've coached two guys that have made the NBA.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're the answer to the question, but I'll just give them a shout out.
Okay.
When I was at the Winchendon School, I coached Bruno Sundov, who's from Croatia. He played for 7 teams, but he played for the Celtics, which was cool.
Okay.
7'3" kid from Croatia. And then just this past year, Jared Terrell played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was from URI, and I coached him at Weymouth High School. So that's kind of pretty cool,
That's very cool. Like Wesley Matthews has become a Buck now, and I coached him. So it's always fun when they come home and you can wow, yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Yeah, that's a good answer. I would have gone with Wesley too. Yeah, best player of all time.
It's funny. This has been like the argument in our house all week because of Last Dance being on. I would have said Larry Bird, just almost like because I was brainwashed maybe my whole life. Although I do think he's in the conversation, all the research I've done this week, I don't think I can go against Michael Jordan anymore.
I don't.
I think he's there. I think he's it. He's the GOAT.
I think there's somebody that lives in Wisconsin that could be in the discussion in 10 years. I think he could be that. I think Giannis could be that special.
He's pretty good, Coach.
He's pretty good. I mean, I just think he's like I tell my stats students, if you're building a basketball body, you build Giannis. That's the way the game is. I mean, he doesn't have the magic stuff yet, but he's also like 23 years old.
Yeah, he's special. There's no doubt about it.
But I said you're building. It's a taller version of Magic, possibly. I don't know. I mean, literally, I know Wisconsin will give him the state to keep him.
Oh, yeah.
You can just have Wisconsin stay. But he's pretty special. What's your favorite drill? You can only do one drill. What's your drill?
I think when it's done right with the right kids working hard, I just like the old 11-man drill.
Okay.
Army drill, just decision making, up tempo, stop the ball, just gets the gym going. I think it's a good drill to get the vibe going.
Yep, and I still run that drill. But I do it a little bit shorter than I used to do it. And we'll do it actually where you can only shoot threes and do some other stuff with it. But yeah, I love 11 man. That's a great drill. Best game you've seen in person?
Well, again, selfishly, if when we won the state title in baseball, we had a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. So that was pretty cool.
No, I think you pick your own. I picked.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
we won a state tournament in triple overtime.
Yeah, good. Good
I
stuff.
always, you can, I personally, you pick your own. Most people do that. Your favorite quote?
This is it's kind of funny, but this quote has been my go-to for, 15 years probably. And it's, you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who can never repay you. John Wooden quote. Our kids all know it. They know it's my favorite quote. That's definitely my go-to.
I love that. That's a life lesson right there. One thing that helped you become a better coach?
I think this year, making the transition to the girls, I think I became a better coach. I really do, and I owe it to those kids. It was
a change. It was a change.
It was a change, and a fellow coach said to me, he said, "Treat them like girls, coach them like boys. Like they're, just coach them." But
I love that. You're coaching. It doesn't matter. You're
exactly. You're coaching players.
Yeah.
But in the in the team room, in the film room, on the bus, sometimes you just got to use a little different style and technique.
Right. One word to describe your coaching style.
I'll go back to passion.
Best coach of all time.
Bob Hurley Sr. Coach Hurley's definitely my go-to. And I love Coach Knight and Coach K, but as a high school coach, and we were lucky enough, one of my former assistants, John Sullivan, grew up in Jersey City, was tight with the Hurleys. So I got a couple chances to talk with him, and super guy. I mean, and just obviously successful coach. But I'll go with Coach Hurley.
What's he doing now? I watched the special when they closed the school. What's he doing?
Yeah, I think he is just
retired.
He's like the rest of us. He's on webinars and all these different things, and
right.
I think and he's a big fan of UConn and Arizona State. Just
right. He's just watching his kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
One book. If you could only pick one book, and then I think you put more than one on your list, but if you could only pick one, what would it be?
Jay Billis' Toughness.
I love that book.
It's a great book.
I love that book. Okay. No, I'm gonna skip that one. One thing you'd change about the game. You can only change one thing. What would you change?
Well, in high school ball, and I don't know. Do you guys play 32 minutes?
No, we play 18-minute halves, which is awesome.
See, I would like to see high school go to 40 minutes and simulate the college game, just in terms of, it sounds crazy, but more minutes, you get more kids involved. And
I'm telling you, if you went to you play quarters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you play halves. I have to rest my best player at least 2 minutes a half. They can't play 36 minutes. They can't do it. So it's like a college coach. I have to rest them. Like there'll be times like at the 9-minute mark, coach will go, man, Cade needs to come out. It's like, all right, I'll pull him. I mean, if you watch a college game, no one plays 40 minutes in a college game.
But isn't it crazy, Coach, that you've got in the same country, different states, shot clock, no shot clock, quarters, halves, 32 minutes, 36 minutes. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's like everyone, yeah. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon.
No.
And I definitely don't think the shot clock's coming because of financial purposes now with everything that's going on. All right, so that will jump into the last thing. So here, I asked these questions. It's called leave it, change it, or replace it. Okay, so you can leave it the way it is. You can change it, or you can replace it. Halves. Would you leave it the way it is? Would you change it? Would you replace it? Okay. Jump ball.
Leave it.
Okay. Shot clock. Do you have the shot clock in?
We have one, so I'd keep it. Yeah.
And how long is it?
It's 30.
Okay. And how often do they make a mistake on it?
It depends who's on the table, but we've had our share of mistakes for sure.
Okay. And so this is just someone asking. And then how often does the shot clock run down where it's an issue?
Not really that often.
Okay. There's usually a shot before 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Summer basketball, leave it, change it, replace it.
Change it.
How?
I'd like to put a little bit more. I get that AAU is a necessary evil, and it used to be this. It used to be for the elite players. I'd like to get the high school summer leagues or the rec leagues become more important and put a little bit more. Power is not the right word, but give a little bit more back to the high school coach.
I agree. All right. Last question is, if you had one parting bit of advice you'd like to give to coaches that are listening to this, what would it be?
So if we're going to coach and hopefully coach for a long time, we're going to have a lot of different teams, wins, losses, ups and downs. But I would think that for that particular year's kids, especially your seniors, that's their team. And, hopefully that your kids become better people because they played in your program, and they go on and become servant leaders, and they contribute to society because they were kind of exposed to what you do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I don't have anything to add to that, Coach. Thank you so much for being on.
It was a blast. Thank you.
Be safe, be healthy, self-quarantine as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach, I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe and leave a written review. We would love those. Also, I would ask that you go down and think about joining teachhoops.com. I know you've been thinking about it. It's like, oh, should I do it? It's a lot of money. It's like, trust me, it will pay for itself. I would not, I have partners I have to pay, but it is worth every penny. So go over and check it out. And then if you're going to do any shopping, click that Amazon link down below.